I've invested in a large number of different speculative crypto mining projects, and in this video I'm going to share exactly how I made $2,241 mining crypto in August of 2023. This is a monthly series where I track all my income from crypto mining and running crypto nodes, minus my expenses including electric expense and node hosting costs, so I can share an accurate picture of my net income for the month. This video is my way of keeping you up to date on the changes in profitability of all the different crypto projects I'm involved in. The point of this video is not for me to brag about how much money I'm making each month. Profits are down, way down. Like, really bad right now.
That's bad.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah.
I want to educate and inform you so you can make as much money as possible mining crypto. But also remember, this isn't financial advice. Stay tuned because once again, I've refreshed my ROI or return on investment analysis for the month so you know which miners are currently the best ones to buy. Watch for that later in this video. With that out of the way, let's get started. Let's start off by looking at the high-level numbers. Total revenue for August came in at $2,241. Now that is down $274 versus my July figures. And that's largely being driven by a decrease in miner revenue. That's being driven by my Bitcoin mining. The price of Bitcoin fell for the month, as well as the mining difficulty for Bitcoin increased for the month, generating lower income for the month for me. Our expenses for August came in relatively flat versus July. My primary expense here is my hosting costs for my Bitcoin miners. You see the last 4 months we had that elevated expenses, and that's really being driven by those Bitcoin miners becoming online. Net income for the month came in at $782. If you look at the historical numbers here, this is down considerably. This is by far our worst month yet in the 16 months I've been doing this analysis. It really can't be attributed to one specific project. We're just seeing continued decrease in profitability across the board, across all the different projects I've been involved in. We're continuing to see all these different altcoins that we're mining continue to decrease in price month over month, which is driving a decrease in profitability. But all hope is not lost. I'm sticking around here. We're not going anywhere. Let's look at the income by project. So here is my net income by project. I have this sorted from most profitable in terms of net income down to lowest profitability. And you can see these totals here tied to the historical charts numbers that we just reviewed in the previous tab. Now, it does take me several hours each month to put this analysis together for you. So if you enjoy this type of content, I really would appreciate it if you'd hit that like button. It's a free and easy way for you to help support the channel. Thank you. So we'll start off at the top here, and I'll give some high-level commentary on some major items that have happened in the past month for each of these projects. Number one project for the month are my pre-search nodes. I have 40 pre-search nodes. I have 281,000 pre-search tokens staked across those nodes. A couple months ago, I consolidated my nodes to reduce some of my node hosting expenses. I currently have these hosted with RackNerd, and I decided to consolidate them to kind of save on some hosting costs. I did a tutorial video a few months ago as well on how to set up a pre-search node using RackNerd. It's fairly simple to do. If you want to learn how to do that, I'll link that video in the description. Another major item with these pre-search nodes is the pre-search team made an announcement on August 18th that they will be reducing the pre-search node rewards starting on September 1st. They stated they'll be reducing the reward pool by $1,500 per day, but at this point, it's unclear what the actual change in the profitability will be for these pre-search nodes. They'll be making monthly adjustments, so we'll just have to wait and see in terms of where the profitability will shake out over the next several months. Number two project for the month are my 6 S19 Pro 110 terahash Bitcoin miners. I have these hosted with BitCap hosting. They have provided me a hosting rate of 8.5 cents per kilowatt hour. So that's my expenses for these Bitcoin miners. And we saw the price of Bitcoin fall a little bit this month, down 7%. And we also saw mining difficulty once again increase for the month. And that's been a trend we've seen over the past 3 years, where we've continued to see an increase in mining difficulty as miners are ramping up and getting ready for the next halving. And we did see some good news regarding Bitcoin earlier this week. The Grayscale Bitcoin Trust won their lawsuit with the SEC, which paves the way potentially for a Bitcoin spot ETF in the near future, which could be very bullish for the price of Bitcoin over the next several months. Number three project for the month are my 2 Demo data miners. If you've been following this channel for any time now, you know I'm very bullish on Demo. I've done several videos on them, generating me $109 for the month, and we're seeing about a 1.5% reduction in rewards per week for my Demo data miners. Coming to number four is a relatively new project, but it's been a good winner for me so far. It's my HiveMapper dashcam. I earned $64 this month. I did drive a little less, but this project has been a good earner for me. I did a video on it a couple months ago. I'll link that as well in the description. If I continue to get these decent earnings earnings over the next several months. I should be ROIing here very shortly with this HiveMapper dashcam. Coming at number 5 is my HiFix Space Weather Station. This mine's the Geo token. They did have their halving at the end of June. We did see a nice price increase in the Geo token this month, up 66%. They also announced a new staking option available for people where you can stake your Geo token for 12 months and you earn about a 10% return for providing that staking. I looked into the staking and I decided it's not right for me, but it may be right for you. You can check it out. My number 6 project is my STEPN NFT shoes. This is a move to earn project. I did purchase some additional NFT shoes this month. I went from 10 to 16. When I told my wife that I had added some additional shoes and I'd have to walk more, she was not very happy about that, but she said, as long as you hold on to the baby while you're walking, I don't care. So I'll be walking a little bit more, but also be earning a little bit more with the STEPN NFT shoes. Now I am actively selling my GST tokens that I earn with STEPN, and then I convert it to Solana about every couple weeks. Coming in at number 7 is Crank. I have my 2 Match XM2 Pros on Crank. I've had them on there for several months now. And they did have their second beta open up in mid-August. It was only open for about 2 days until all 1,000 spots were filled up. I did mention that in several videos over the past month. So hopefully if you're interested in getting into Crank, you were able to pick up one of those beta spots. I actually purchased 2 licenses for 2 of my Bobcat 300 miners, which I'm mining helium. I'm still waiting on them to get out the installation guide for those, but hopefully that'll be in the next couple weeks and I can get those 2 Bobcats moved on to Crank. Number 8 project is a disappointing one for me the last several months, and that's my FLUX nodes. The profitability of these FLUX nodes has continued to go down as we've seen the price of FLUX continue to poorly perform. The price is now at new bear market lows, I believe. It was down 20% for the month. You can see I've got a substantial amount of FLUX staked in these nodes, and it's only generating me about $35 a month currently. Now, if we continue to see a decrease in these FLUX prices, I may end up shutting down these nodes as I'm not going to run a node unprofitably. So it looks like we've got another 20% to go. If we see FLUX fall another 20%, these nodes will essentially become unprofitable, and I'll be shutting them down. I think there'll be a lot of other people shutting them down as well. Now, one positive thing with FLUX that we saw this month is they did announce they're doing a new parallel asset snapshot claim, and that's scheduled for August 31st. So if you hold FLUX in your Zelcore wallet on that date, you'll qualify to earn some additional FLUX tokens when that new parallel asset is announced sometime next year. That's usually worth about 4%, so it's a pretty good deal. If you've got some FLUX, make sure you've got that sitting in your Zelcore wallet on October 31st. Number 9 is my Deeper Connect Mini. Nothing really going on here. We've continued to see this price of this Deeper token fall ever since I got into this project. I'm earning max rewards, but really not doing a whole lot with this project. Coming in at number 10 are my 3 iPolo G1 minis. These mine the cryptocurrency Grin. We had a lucky month this month. I solo mine all these, and we found 24 blocks this month, generating $40 in revenue. And my expenses for this project are my estimated electric expense at 12 cents per kilowatt hour. So that ran me about $27 for the month, so netting me $13.49. I do actively sell my Grin tokens that I mine. I sell them every several months and I convert them into Bitcoin. Number 11 is a new project this month. Just did a video on this last week. My new Veriscoin phone farm. I have 30 Samsung phones that I'm mining Veriscoin on that generated me $12 for the month. Coming in at number 12 is my Bobcat 500 Helium 5G miner. This mines the mobile token. The one thing of note this month is I did see a big decrease in the amount of tokens that I was earning. I was in prior months earning anywhere between 100 and 130,000, and it dropped substantially down to 34,000 coins earned this month. So I do need to look into that further in terms of what's driving that decrease for me, but I looked on their Discord and it doesn't seem to be a widespread issue across everyone, so it may be an issue with my device. Next 3 are my Fry miners. I have the Bandwidth, Decibel, and Satellite miners. For testing purposes, I'm selling all my tokens for my Decibel and Satellite miners, and then I am accumulating all my tokens for my Bandwidth miners. Did finally see the Fry tokens stop falling substantially this month, so it was only down 7% this month, which is better than we've seen in prior months. Number 16 is my streamer node. I have 20,000 data tokens staked on this streamer node. I have this hosted with FLUX, and I pay 5.99 FLUX per month. I'd have this hosted, which costs about $1.90 per month. It doesn't generate very much at the moment, but it's just a project I am testing out. Number 17 is my 5 Helium Bobcat IoT miners. Once again, I had a big decrease in my rewards I'm seeing across the board for all my Helium devices, but only generated me just under $4 for the month. Number 18 is Element Data. This project's also on its way down, I feel like, as well, only generating about a 10 cents per day with Element Data. The problem with this project is there's no real use case for this Element Data air quality data, so I don't see this project lasting much longer, and I'll probably throw this in the miner graveyard here in the next several months. Scrolling down here to the bottom of our list here, next we have Mapmetrics. When I was doing my research for this review, I saw the price of the Mapmetrics token had completely collapsed. I was like, oh, another rug pull. But after doing some digging, I found this Twitter thread from Decentralized Rob, where he explained that they are just transitioning to a new token. So the few dollars I've earned with this thing are safe for the time being. I couldn't find an accurate price for this new token yet, so I've kept it here at the last month's price, but I'll also do some more research on Mapmetrics as they transition to this new token. Next, we have my Gold Shell Starcoin box, which is barely profitable at this point. My Exa miner, which is still on testnet. I had some network issues last month, and it was offline for several weeks, so my space utilization got reset, so we're starting back from 0, and I'm at 5.3 gigabytes used, which basically earns you nothing. WeatherXM still on testnet, but they're still planning a Q4 2023 launch according to their white paper. Pi-Fi, we're still waiting on the launch of their token. And then finally, I have several of these mini box miners, which I am running at a slightly unprofitable rate just to accumulate some coins here in this bear market. And then finally, last on our list, the Gold Shell Mini Doge 2. Decided to turn this off this month and throw it in my miner graveyard. I had this on low hash rate mode, but it's really becoming very unprofitable post the Litecoin halving that we saw on August 2nd. We go to our miner graveyard, it's getting longer and longer, littered with many different Gold Shell mini box miners, which hopefully will become profitable again in the next bull market. My intention is for a lot of these mini miners is to wait till the next bull market when hopefully they become profitable and there'll be a market for these and I can sell off a lot of these mini box miners that I unfortunately purchased. Next, let's move over to the ROI analysis. We'll start off with the assumptions I'm making this analysis so that we can level set. First, the miner fair market value estimates is based on recent comparable miner sales I'm seeing from eBay. These are not my purchase costs. In almost all these cases, I paid way more for these miners than you can currently purchase them for today. Next, these are my current month net income and my actual mining expenses. Yours may be different based on your different hosting or electric rates. Next is as of a point in time on September 1st, 2023. Miner value and income amounts will obviously vary over time. And then finally, this is not financial advice. Don't use this as justification to purchase a miner or node. For this list, I've got these ranked from break even from your lowest break even time up to your highest and get some high level quick commentary over each. I've also got a color coding system next to each project in terms of my general thoughts on each. Green, I think, is a very solid project. Yellow, I'm a bit iffy on, and then red, I would stay away from those projects. Now, my number one project right now in terms of highest ROI and therefore lowest break-even days is my HiveMapper dashcam at a current 117 days to break even. Now, this is highly dependent on how often you drive and where you're located. I'm in a suburban location and I drive about probably 30 to 40 miles per day. So based on my results, I'm earning about $64 a month and currently can pick up this device for about $251. I have a 10% discount code you can use. I'll put a QR code on the screen now if you want to check out HiveMapper and purchase it. Also put a link for them in the description below. Number 2 project, which I've mentioned over the last several months because it's been a big winner for me. I've made several $1,000s with my demo data miners just being early with this project. I still think we're not too early for this project. There's not a lot of people looking at projects like this in a bear market, but that's the demo data miners, currently a break even of 148 days, which is very solid. I also can get you 10% off your demo data miner. I'll put a QR code on the screen for that and a link in the description below if you want to get one of those. Number 3 are my Steppen NFT shoes. They also have a pretty decent break even, but we've seen the price of Steppen's GST and GMT tokens falling substantially throughout this bear market. I don't know that they're going to recover. That's why I've got this project marked as yellow. I don't know that there's a lot of long-term stability for their tokens in this project. That's why I actively sell my GST tokens that I'm earning with this project. So buyer beware if you're going to get into stepping. Our fourth best ROI is the HiFix GeoNet station at a 90.9% ROI, or just over a year for break even for the triple band base weather station. Now the downside with this is quite expensive, coming in at $695, but a decent ROI at this point, and we've seen some strong action for the Geo token over the past month or two. Number 5, Crank. Like I mentioned, the beta 2.0 has been closed down at this point in terms of all the spots being filled. I believe they're doing a opening up of the project to the public here in the next several months, so be on a watch out for that. I think Crank is a solid project at this point, especially if you already have an old Helium device or a MatchX or another device that just sit around not really earning anything. It's a pretty low cost of $250 to get involved with Crank. Next, we have our Fry Decibel, Bandwidth, and Satellite miners. They are taking batch 4s, which will be expected to ship before the end of the year. Number 8, pre-search nodes. Like I mentioned earlier, they're reducing their rewards in the future here for pre-search nodes, so they may not be as lucrative in the future. If you really think about it, a 55% ROI for a crypto node is quite high and unsustainable, so I can see why they are deciding to decrease these rewards going forward. Next is the Deeper Connect Mini. I would stay away from Deeper. There's security risk with running these on your network, and the coin has just been straight down ever since I got in the project. Same thing with Element Data, no use case. Stay away from this project. Number 12, Metrics. I put this one as green because really, this is really dependent on how much you drive. If you drive about 2 hours per day, you can earn max rewards. It's really easy to get into this project in terms of cost at only $125 for their device. The downside is when you have this, you need to have the app open on your phone in your car while you're using this device, which I find a little annoying. Hopefully they can correct that moving forward, because that's the one big negative I find with Metrics is I hate having to keep that app open in my car while I'm driving so that I can earn. Number 13 are my iPolo G1 minis. This has been a great little mini ASIC for me. This is actually my first ASIC that I ever purchased, my iPolo G1 minis. So if you're looking to get into ASIC mining, it may be a good starter miner for you to try out. My number 14 is my S19 Pro 110 terahash Bitcoin miners. They are currently profitable, and I am very bullish on Bitcoin long term, so that's why I got involved in Bitcoin mining. So if you're interested in Bitcoin mining, maybe check out BitCap Hosting. They've been a good provider for me so far. Number 15, Helium Bobcat IoT. I would stay away from Helium. Number 16, streamer nodes. Pretty profitable for a really easy node to set up and run. Helium Bobcat 500 5G, I would stay away from those. Then next, my phone farm. There's obviously a brand new project for me over the past month, but I'm very bullish on the Varus coin long term, and it's been a fun and easy project for me to set up so far. Obviously not very lucrative at this point, but we're in a bear market, so that's to be expected with a lot of these projects. And finally, we have my Gold Shell Starcoin box, which is barely profitable at this point, and then we have my FLUX nodes, which I'd mentioned earlier. The return on these is really awful at this point at just a 1.7% ROI. You can get a higher risk-free return rate of over 5% currently, as opposed to risking it running a FLUX node. And then finally, we've got all these devices which are either on testnet or have negative earnings, so they don't have a positive ROI. Which projects are you considering getting into? Let me know in the comment section below. Or is there a project I'm missing from this list that you think I should look into further? Let me know that as well. If this isn't your first time watching one of my videos, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.